What up? It's Jimmy from odds.com. This is a clip from our big NCAA basketball show starring Maxwell Smart. He starts out with 3 p.m. Eastern action, and he closes up at 8:30 p.m. with Florida State, Georgia Tech. 9 games on the card and some big marquee matchups. He's got the big Clemson game, Clemson, Virginia Tech. He's got the Illinois-Minnesota game on his card. He's got some exciting stuff. If you want to check out the entire show, hit the link on the bottom of the screen. It's available exclusively at odds.com. And we move on to 6:30 p.m. action, a marquee game on the card. Number 24th ranked Clemson Tigers, 5-0, making their ACC debut at Virginia Tech Hokies, 4-1, also making their ACC debut here. We're in Blacksburg, Virginia, to see Clemson, Virginia Tech. Right now at FanDuel, and we have a few different books we can shop, but at FanDuel, Virginia Tech are 1.5-point favorites, but that's just with minus 102 juice. If you want Clemson plus 1.5, that costs you minus 120, which leads us to look at the money line. Virginia Tech on the money line, minus 116. Clemson on the money line, minus 102. This total, very low, reminiscent of the other team in Virginia. Virginia Tech, Clemson total is at 124.5, and it's because of Clemson. Clemson's opened up, well, both teams, but Clemson's opened up 5-0, coming off a 64-56 win at home over Alabama. Their defense is excellent. They're allowing just 51.4 points per game. They hit 44.8% of their buckets. They get good distribution with 13.4 assists per game. They have 11 different players averaging double-digit minutes, with only one player, 6'8" senior forward Amir Sims, averaging double-digit points. This is their first road test of the season. Virginia Tech coming off their first loss of the season, a 75-55 home wake-up call delivered by Penn State. They allowed Penn State to shoot 50% from the field, 52.2% from three. They only forced 5 turnovers while shooting just 37% themselves. Feels like a bounce-back spot possibly for Virginia Tech, but this Clemson Tigers team shuts teams down. Max, take it away. Nice little ACC spot for a 6:30 p.m. Eastern, Clemson, Virginia Tech.
Yeah, listen, Jim. You know I don't like Clemson football, and on this show tonight, I don't like Clemson basketball either. You know what Brad Brunell does on his off days? He eats LeClaire's out of the garbage to summon his inner George Costanza. He then puts on a wig that resembles what George's forehead and top of the head look like, and then takes pictures and puts it on Instagram. Okay? Any coach that does that should be fired, let alone that orange suit jacket that he wears. Oh, God. But in all seriousness, this Clemson team definitely has played some tougher competition. They're only allowing 22 points in the first half, which is crazy. Nick Honor's definitely come in from Fordham. He's done a good job. He's probably the most reliable 3-point shooter. He already has 10 in the 5 games. So 2 a game is a pretty nice average, especially for an offensively challenged team like Clemson. Clemson's done it on neutral courts, and they've done it at home. Now, ordinarily in an ordinary season, we'd be like, okay, Virginia Tech's going to have the home court advantage, da-da-da-da-da. Well, they're not going to really have the home court advantage. These Clemson players have played at Virginia Tech before, and Virginia Tech's not going to have a raucous crowd to motivate them. So, like you said, Amir Sims, he's the only double-digit scorer on this team, 23 field goals through 5 games. So the scoring production just isn't there. And to add on to that, he has 13 turnovers. So when your best player is turning it over in those at that volume, it's a major problem. The one thing that I do like about Clemson from a personnel perspective is they have a lot of potential one-game stars. There's a lot of guys on this team that can come off the bench and give you that scoring when you're trying to get out of the scoring drought. But plain and simple, This is a Clemson team that has to win with their defense first. And against teams like Alabama in particular, Alabama can't match up and go stop for stop with Clemson. That's why they weren't able to freaking score on them. That's why Clemson was able to find ways to score on that defense. I think now going up against Virginia Tech can ball. They can play grimy. They can go into that kind of rock fight and they can mess you up. Now you're going to play them after they've had 6 days to sit, stew, obsess, punch holes in the wall, verbally abuse their roommates about that Penn State loss. So losing by 20 in that fashion, it was ugly. I think that Virginia Tech does a really good job early of getting to the free throw line, winning on the offensive glass, not turning it over, forcing Clemson to turn the ball over. And I think that when you look at this front court duo of starter Keve Aluma and then Justin Mutz, I think that their performance is going to be critical. When you look at Tyrese Radford and Naheem Aline, both these guys are your top 2 scorers, your best free throw shooters, the guys that are going to have the ball in their hands at the end of the game. And then you have Cartier Diarra from Kansas State. If you get good performances from all 3 of those guards, I think that Virginia Tech's getting a little bit of freaking redemption, and they're going to freaking take care of Clemson, give Clemson that first loss. Because, like you said, Clemson may be 5-0, but I do think now going up against a team that is as defensively sound and defensively minded as Virginia Tech and Clemson are similar, this is where the road ends and Clemson loses. So give me Virginia Tech. But let's talk about what number, because I'm trying to avoid as much fig as possible.
3 options for you. You have money line at -116, -1 at -110, or -1.5 at -102.
-1.5 at -102, please.
And that is available at FanDuel. Virginia Tech Hokies -1.5 at -102 for Maxwell Smart. Blacksburg, Virginia. The Hokies -1.5, -102.